Good time breaking news in the 38 Studio scandal. Just about an hour ago, the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, made the announcement they're charging the Rhode Island Economic Development Corporation and Wells Fargo Securities, its bond underwriter, with fraud. All related to the EDC's bankrolling of 38 Studios. Target 12 investigator Tim White first broke the news about an SEC investigation a couple of years ago. He joins us now with these breaking details. Tim?
Patrick, it's important to note this is not a criminal case. The SEC filed civil fraud charges against Wells Fargo and the Rhode Island Economic Development Corporation, which is now called the Commerce Corporation, as well as others. Now, keep in mind, the SEC regulates the investment world. In that capacity, they say Wells Fargo defrauded investors when they sold $75 million in bonds to fund 38 Studios. In a press release announcing the charges just a short time ago, the director of the SEC Enforcement Division says municipal issuers and underwriters must provide investors with a clear-eyed view of the risks involved in an economic development project being financed through bond offerings. He also says, we allege that the Economic Development Corporation and Wells Fargo knew that 38 Studios needed an additional $25 million to fund the project, yet failed to pass that material information along to bond investors who were denied a complete financial picture. Curt Schilling's video game company received just $50 million of the $75 million in bond money. The company collapsed into bankruptcy in June 2012. Target 12 was the first to break that the SEC was investigating the controversial deal back in 2013. As part of today's announcement, First Southwest, which was the state's financial advisor at the time, has separately agreed to pay nearly $200,000 to settle charges that it failed to make complete disclosures, but is not admitting or denying wrongdoing. That's the same for two key players here, former EDC head Keith Stokes and Deputy Director Michael Saul. They've come to an agreement with the feds, and they will each pay a $25,000 fine and have been barred from taking part in government transactions. Now, I checked the docket at federal court in Providence. A hearing has not yet been set. In fact, Patrick, this case is so new, a judge hasn't even been assigned. We have calls out to Wells Fargo as well as the Commerce Corporation for comment, but they haven't returned our calls just yet. Patrick?
A lot of stuff there,
It
right?
really is. I know we threw a lot at you, but this is a significant development today.
Now, you just laid out what we know about the complaint. Any new revelations there?
Good question, and the short answer is no. This is basically what was put forth in the civil case the state filed against the architects of the deal. Patrick, we knew, for instance, about the funding gap. That is a huge part of the civil case that is moving forward. It looks like what the feds did is they looked at that civil case and said, well, this sure looks like it constitutes securities fraud, and so they filed these civil charges. Again, a big development today.
All right, it'll be a busy afternoon for you.
Sure will.
Thank you, Tim, and we'll be tracking the breaking details on the charges over the 38 Studios deal all afternoon. We'll be digging into these charges, gathering reaction. You can get the very latest on our website as well, WPRI.com, and with Tim on Eyewitness News live at 5. Also